Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Every Other Saturday. In today's video we're going to discuss the 1-1 draw away to Hamilton. Now this game had a few changes to the starting lineup, a kind of dodgy pitch to be playing on, some bad weather and a poor performance if you ask me. As always guys, if you haven't done so already, please feel free to get down there, drop a wee like in the video, subscribe if you haven't done so already and share it all over your social medias and help it get out to as many people as possible. It helps the channel grow and helps us keep on growing and getting towards that next target of 150 subscribers. So shameless plug stuff out the way guys, let's get fired right into today's video.
Every other Saturday's my half day off, and it's off to the match I go. Happily we wander down the Copeland.
Well guys, what can be said about that game today? To be brutally honest, not a hell of a lot. We were lacklustre at best. I feel that we may not have put out our best team, and I feel as if we're kind of going through the motions before the league title and the trophy's actually in the cabinet. That was a typical performance of years gone by where there just wasn't enough on the park. Yes, we had some decent chances. We had a fantastic goalkeeper in nets, don't get me wrong, I'm going to get to him in a bit. But it just seemed like there was something missing. The final third, again, not good enough for me. The final execution on the ball, not good enough. There was a few pass marks across the players, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to be too overly critical and say that it was the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's the worst I've seen them play in a long time, to be fair. And one of the boys just texted me saying that if you think about it, there's not a lot of goals in the last few games as well. We need to start putting performances in, because as much as we're happy with the 3 points coming in, as much as we're taking steps towards 55, we all want to be on this train, we all want to get on this party bandwagon and stuff like that. But see, at the end of the day, performances like that, it's not good enough. So the first half, and the first kind of 20 minutes of that first half, if I'm brutally honest, there was a couple of chances from both teams. We were chasing here and there. They were really hard, it was really hard to break them down. They shaped up well, and Brian Wright had them done well. The boys knew exactly what they were coming up against. They knew that Rangers aren't exactly going to be on form, I think is what they thought. They knew fine well that this isn't the exact same team that's turning up scoring 4, 5, 6 goals against you. This is what I expected Rangers to come out like, but it just wasn't. So Brian Rice had them set up, and they knew that if they just took a wee bit of a stranglehold on them and stopped Rangers getting through, that it pushes them and pushes them and pushes them and lets Hamilton almost get a chance on goal. And with the way they played, it was very difficult for us to get forward. I feel as if we were lacklustre from start to finish anyway, but when we did get forward, there wasn't that final killer ball. The balls coming in from the wing backs were good. There wasn't any like crap crosses or anything like that. The balls coming in were good, but there just wasn't that final touch or final execution to get the ball over the line, and that's where they've let us down today, to be fair. And if I'm honest, if we had managed to get all the way to the final whistle and it was 1-0, I'd probably still be sitting here saying the same thing. Yes, it's 3 points, another step towards 55, but we're not sitting here saying that. This is another week that's gone by that we can't just rest on our laurels and say, oh, it's okay, we've got a big gap at the top of the league, because it's not enough. Not any way, shape or form are we mathematically clear. We can't let things slip, and we shouldn't be playing against bottom of the league opposition, all due respect to them, and the way they played against us today certainly wasn't like that. But we shouldn't be playing against bottom of the league opposition and drawing with a crap easy equaliser at the end of the game. So we did see a couple of decent chances in the first half with Joe Aribo and stuff like that. There was a very early yellow card as well for Hamilton, a poor challenge, but the first half was almost non-existent if you ask me. There wasn't a lot there. It was a bit boring again to be watching. This is where I feel that we need to get these performances, and trying to get 3 points and getting 3 points is just as important as a performance. I said it a couple of weeks back. Last week I maybe rested on my laurels by saying that yes, we get the 3 points and that's all that mattered. But we need to bring these performances back, guys. We need to start putting goals in the back of the net again and not relying on Allan Mcgregor at the back making save after save after save. Because let's not be kidded, guys, when Hamilton made their way through, the only thing standing in the way every single time was Allan Mcgregor. We had Hollander making a few dodgy mistakes today. There was one with Zungu and Kamara on the edge of the box that made us lose possession, and again McGregor comes to the rescue. It was save after save, and when it came to the point where we needed him, he was always there. But that at the end, where it looks as if the ball's managed to just clip on underneath him, he didn't deserve that, to be honest. He did too well, and it's a defining aspect of the game, guys. Yes, we managed to get a goal, but again, that goal was a deflection. That was just as as pathetic, if you ask me, as the goal against Celtic. This goal, it was a great cross. It could have hit one of our players to go in, but it didn't. Their goalie, Fulton, managed to get the ball, touch it onto, I think it was Hamilton himself that managed to just knock it back into the net. Now that's not a clear-cut opportunity. At least we had shots on target today, but it wasn't a clear-cut opportunity for us. And we managed to get our goal. Take Allan Mcgregor out of that, take a dodgy deflection goal. Hamilton have won that game, 100%. Now that's not good enough for when we are trying to fight for number 55. One thing we did see in the second half was the substitutions, and in my eyes, when I looked at the starting lineup, yes, we did have changes, and this is my point here, where I do not think we started with our strongest 11. We've seen Zungu coming off. He made his way for Ryan Jack. Now that there, I understand why Jack's not playing this morning or this afternoon, whatever you want to call it. I think it was game management. Don't put a player like him on plastic pitches for the full game. I think we were maybe watching the injury just in case. Possibly, I could be wrong. But you also had Davis, who was taking a breather for today as well. Now when they two came on, you seen the difference in quality. The midfield just takes that step up once again. And the goal, granted it was a deflection, the goal basically started from a wonder pass from Stephen Davis. This is my point. We had Davis coming on. I think, yes, sorry, just checking my notes there. It was Roof came on for Itten. That was the only one that I wasn't really too bothered about. I don't think Roof did more than what Itten did through the game. I feel Itten made his way back into the game to try and win the ball. His hold-up play again, slightly the same as what Morelos does. It was good enough. He was trying to get chances, and to be honest, I don't think I seen Itten walk one part of that game when he was on. He was constantly running. I like the boy. He's got a lot of energy about him, and it looks as if he's going to be something big for us in the future. It was just a bit disappointing for me, that one, to see him come off, because I don't think Roof did much of a difference. And I know I've mentioned him before, but it was the double substitution in about the 77th minute that we seen Davis come on, and we also seen the man get his debut in Scott Wright. Now it was good to see him come on as well. As much as I would big up Stephen Davis at that substitute point, it was good to see Wright come on. He came on for Yanis Hadji, and you could see he had a bit of spark about him. He wanted to get involved, he wanted to try and push forward. He's got a good touch on him, he's got a good turn of pace as well. To be honest, it was a bad game to bring him on, to be honest, and the fact that we lost one each. But if we had won that game, it would have been a great thing for him. So yes, it's the start, it's a debut. I don't think he did anything wrong. He didn't get a chance to really change or put a big contribution onto the game, but I'm glad to see him get his debut. Now it was really the last 5 minutes that we got to see this whole change, to be honest, because there was a few chances coming through from both sides, but Hamilton just seemed to start piling on that wee bit too much pressure for us, and we didn't seem to cope. It just seemed to be getting through far too easy for me. Defence and midfield, they weren't really managing at all, and at the back there was, again, unfortunately, there was a hell of a lot of problems for that goal from Hamilton. The ball came in from the wide angle, and it was a free header in the middle of the park, and again Mcgregor with a wonder save. Cannot take the game away from him. When you manage to see that save and he manages to just push it off to the side, you think to yourself, once again McGregor's managed to save us, and out of nowhere, I think it was Callahan managed to come in and just get a touch to get the ball underneath McGregor. And if you look at the trajectory of the ball, it wasn't going anywhere. I think he was trying to get it across the park, but it's just the trailing, dangling leg of McGregor that takes a deflection and sends it into the back. And it's not an own goal for McGregor by any matter. I mean, it's a good goal from Callahan, if you ask me. And it was just a cherry in the cake, to be honest, for Hamilton today. They worked well, they deserved a point. All in all, guys, if we want to take a recap of the game, I'm just going to end up getting over and over exactly what I've said. We're playing bottom of the league team. They shouldn't be good enough to manage anything off the back of us, but they showed today that they're fighting for their life and they've got something in their locker. Said it in the video before that I didn't think they had anything in their locker, but what they seemed to have today was a wee bit more, I'd probably say, stamina to take that game through, because any normal team in that situation would have tailed off about the 80th minute, but they had ability to keep going and the stamina to keep us on our toes, and they took us right to the wire, guys. And what can we say? We deservedly drew that game. If not, we luckily drew that game. Getting the debut on the park for Scott Wright's a good thing. It's probably the only good thing we can take from the game today. We had some good deliveries, but we also had a fantastic goalkeeper in the middle of the sticks today. Where would we be without Allan Mcgregor? He does so many times stand in that goalkeeping position for us and just win games hand over fist. And this today, guys, is when I'm going to 100% say that man of the match has to be Allan Mcgregor. He does time and time again for us. in my eyes, sometimes you can see he looks almost underrated because you forget. Because we do play well. When we are playing well, you see Mcgregor still making saves and stuff like that, and it kind of goes by the wayside sometimes. But when he pulls off saves, he's not just catching the ball, he's pulling off wonder saves time and time again. And again, thank you, Allan Mcgregor. Kept it 1 each. Man of the match for me. Simply today, guys, it's 2 points lost. It's not even a point gained. Yes, it might be another point on the way to 55, but it's 2 points lost in my eyes. We should be coming out, we should be making sure that teams like that are put to bed early. There's no pitch problems, there was no referee problems, there was no real weather issues, to be honest. That game should have been won. It wasn't, because we didn't turn up as well as we should have. Team selection maybe, because when we changed the team, we did change, possibly. Not going to put it down to Gerrard, I'm going to put it down to the entire team. Didn't turn up well enough for me today. Should have been 3 points. Disappointing one. Well, guys, get yourself down in the comment section below. Give me a rant off and tell me exactly what you think about today's game, because I can't see many people being happy with that one. Maybe happy with a point and a step towards 55 is the least you could think about taking about this game. But let me know exactly what you think. Get down there. Hit me with all your comments. I want to know exactly what you think. Did you think Mcgregor deserved man of the match? Do you think we deserve to win? Do you think Hamilton actually deserved to win? Let me know. Sound off down in the comment section below. As always, guys, if you haven't done so already, please feel free to drop a wee like in the video, subscribe if you've not done so, and share about on your socials to get it to as many people as possible. Disappointing day for us today, guys. 1 point when it should have been 3. I've been every other Saturday, and I'll see you on the next one.